Welcome to the discussion of Part 5, Chapter 4. This is the chapter where Raskolnikov finally confesses that he has killed the pawnbroker and Lizaveta, and he confesses to Sonia, who he had told last time he went to see her that if he ever saw her again, he would tell her who killed Lizaveta, who was a friend of hers. He's terrified to tell her. He's compelled to tell her. He goes through multiple iterations of why he did it. He brings up the story of his ideas of Napoleon, about how Napoleon had great conquerings of countries, and where what if he asks her to imagine if the first thing that he needed to do before he could be a great conqueror and war hero, he had to first kill a pawnbroker to get money to start his career. Would he have been concerned about killing her? Would he have been concerned about the outcome? No, he would have just killed her. That would have been a normal thing that he would have just seen as okay for him to do because he had monumental things to do in his life, and that was the money that he needed to get his life started. And he likens it to where he was at, where he says he needed the money so that he could stop burdening his mother with the money that she didn't have, and that he could continue on in his university studies and set him up on a career path that would have enabled him to take care of his mother and his sister. But then in the next breath, he says that he really could have continued on at university with the money that his mother gave him, but that he just laid in his apartment and stared at the walls in the dark, eating if he was brought food, but not eating if he wasn't brought food. And that he could have taken lessons and he could have made it happen and work, but that he didn't, that he was just lazy and sitting in the dark and doing nothing. And then he changes his tune again and comes up with another reason. And she's not understanding any of these because she keeps coming back to, but it was a human, but you murdered somebody. Like, how could you live with this? And she tells him that she would go with him anywhere. She'll go to Siberia. And he's like, I'm not going to Siberia. He says that he thought all was lost. He thought Porfiry had him trapped, but that something had happened, and that now he feels like he could explain his way out of it, that all the evidence that they have against him can be explained two ways, and that he feels like he will be arrested, but that he will get out of it. And he doesn't feel like that they're worthy of going to confess to. He's like, these are the same people that would send, men to their death in wars where they're just grabbing for money. He's like, these are not good people that I would be confessing to. They're evil in their own way, and I'm going to go confess to them. He still has this idea of, that he's got this noble superiority. And then he also says, oh, and then they would laugh at me because I didn't get the money. I didn't do a good job with the thieving and I killed her, but I didn't come away with anything. So he really still has not settled it all within himself. He says at first that the devil did it through him, that it wasn't him, that it was the devil. Then he says, no, it really was all me. It's not settled in his mind. It's still like he's placing the blame. He's finding excuses. He's coming up with ways to rationalize what he's done. He's trying to get her to see it his way as he rationalizes it. And she can only see it one way, that he has wrecked his life by a choice that he made, and that the only outcome is that he needs to go repent to God and turn himself in, and that she will be by his side as she says, expiates his sin through suffering. She feels like if he repents, goes to prison, does his time, that his sin will be forgiven and that she will be there waiting for him. And he has not agreed to do this. And so they're somewhat at an impasse. And then she says, well, do you have a cross to wear? And she says, I have two because I have one from Lizaveta. And I'll wear the one that was Lizaveta's. You wear the one that was mine. It's like a piece of her and piece of God that can be with him. And he goes to take it, but then doesn't. And he's like, well, maybe now's not the time. There's something about it. He's not ready to repent, I think, is what the symbolism is there. He knows that that's there, but he hasn't really come to the point where he is repentant. He's not sorry. He hasn't figured this all out. He hasn't come to any conclusion. And she's like, oh, you're right, maybe better, it's later. Later will be better. You come to me when you're ready and we'll go together. We'll put the cross on and together we'll bear this cross. And then there is a knock at the door, and it's Lebeziatnikov, and he has come to see Sonia. So that's where it ends. He's confessed. She knows. She tells him that she will be with him to the end, that this doesn't change things for her. She's mostly grieved at what he's done to his own life. She's worried about his mother and sister. But he says that they'll be fine, that he's made sure that they're okay now. And she just wants him to repent. She wants him to get to a point where he sees that what he's done is wrong. And at this point, he's not there yet. At this point, he feels like he can still get away with it, and that he doesn't really feel like the sin has been that great. He still feels justified somewhat in what he's done. So he's not ready to repent, but he has confessed now for the first time to Sonia. And so we will see in the next chapters what Lebeziatnikov wants and what Raskolnikov decides to do next. See you there.